How's it going, people? Thanks again for joining us. Got another video which is going to be a continuation of what Kim said back in 2023. But instead of our last video on this was about Kim saying that people would see, people would walk again, people could hear, and as we all know very well, we still see people that are suffering today. So today we're going to continue with the last part, I would say, regarding the big topic of the legions, sources, angels that Kim said had come down from Source to help her out, and she was given gifts and promises that meant all evil, all the dark forces would be removed from this planet. Now, before we go into that video, I'm just going to play a song, and then straight after that we'll crack on because it is relevant to what we're talking about. So let's play it, and then we'll come back and go through Kim's video.
Kim, or is it ground commander? Your visions fall apart, we wonder. You promised the blind would see again, the deaf would hear, an end to pain. But the dark forces, they're still here. The cries of war, loud and clear. 1,200 angels silent, they stay. Where is the proof of the brighter day? Kim Goguen, it was all lies, dreams dissolved before our eyes. No photos, no proof, no alien meat, just empty words on a broken beat. Those who believe are far too gone, while the wars rage on, the hope withdrawn. The source angels came to fight the night, but darkness remains, there's no light. The ruling families still hold the reins, their power thrives, the world remains. You spoke of leaders, secret meetings, but where are the records, the fleeting greetings? No photos, no voices, no tale to tell, just hollow stories, a hollow shell. Kim Goguen, it was all lies, dreams dissolved before our eyes. No photos, no proof, no alien meat, just empty words on a broken beat. Those who believe are far too gone, while the wars rage on, the hope withdrawn. How long can you keep this charade alive? With no real proof, how can it survive? The questions linger, the doubt grows strong. Still some believe, though they've been wrong. Kim Goguen, it was all lies, dreams dissolved before our eyes. No photos, no proof, no alien meat, just empty words on a broken beat. Those who believe are far too gone, while the wars rage on, the hope withdraws. So tell us, Kim, where is the truth? The proof of the light, the unshakable proof. The wars rage on, the people die, still waiting for answers beneath the sky.
It's quite a relevant song, to be honest. Yep, those who believe are far too gone. As we know, Kim's been going for so many years now. Everything she says is just bullshit. I think you're far too gone if you're still following after all this time. Of course, there's some exceptions for those, and I keep saying this, for those that have just come on board and are starting to watch her content. But there's plenty of information out there and evidence to show that she's full of shit. She's making stuff up. But unfortunately, she's also mentally ill. And we've proven this in our videos. Her and Thomas Williams. And they've still got a bit of a battle between the two of them. They can't stand each other. I'm sure you understand the reason why. But yeah, this video is going to be about what she spoke about. And where did Kim get this idea from of the fallen angels? We'll come into that after this. I'm going to show you an extract of our video that we did where we collated all information from back in November 2023. And we said, if we capture this of what she's saying from her news, and we will give it a few months and we'll see how much of it comes true. And that was back then. We reviewed it in 2024, January. And the story's changed so much. She stopped talking about the legions. She was trying to bury it. And the reason why is because nothing had changed. Nothing happened. So let's play this. Let's play it. You're intelligent enough to listen to it and know very well what she said. And then we'll go into some other content from another website, from Telegram, and we'll go through some of the chats, what people have been saying, and recordings of Kim admitting, and it's got times lines as well, where it shows Kim where she got this idea from, and it did not come from source. So you go, let's have a little listen, and we'll come back.
So the reason why all my alarms in my phone, not my phone, but the computer, everything was ringing last night was because these folks, the non-fallen angels, wanted permission to enter. If you call that morning, we had 120,000 arrivals of what you would consider sources angels. Yesterday, and I forgot to tell you about this part, they had actually also gone to Mar-a-Lago, and there were terms and conditions given to the family members. Some operatives departed because they're crazy, and they were given terms and conditions about when they're going to make their announcement. They asked for a few days. They were given a very short window. So if they do not comply, they will no longer be with us either. Now, the legions are the cleanup crew. That's what they're here to do. They are here to clean up any remnants of the dark ones. Now, these are non-repairable humans, quote unquote. And they have plowed through 252,000 people, non-complying people, since midnight last night, Mountain Time. They are getting rid of anyone with a dark consciousness, anyone on the old program, anyone that refuses to comply. It is quick, it is simple, it is easy, it is not complicated, and they are here under, obviously, on high orders. How many people do you know can walk into a gunfight and make the guns disappear? They're going to go continue until there is no non-compliant ones left. There has been some showings at the White House, because after they got rid of all the people that were around the White House that could influence the White House, they have now taken the White House. They sat everybody down, told them there's going to be changes, things are going to be different, everything is going to happen. They asked who they were there on behalf of. They first asked if they were there on behalf of Trump. Boy. So the legions informed them, no, they're there on behalf of Ground Commander, gave them my name. I am also the director of the GIA, and yes, they work directly with the GIA, and there will be changes in this country, is what they said. They asked if who was going to be in the White House if it wasn't going to be Trump. They said there might be an interim government, possibly military, is what they said. Tremendous progress. Now, this will be done in every single country on earth until either the governments comply or people die. So will you see some changes? The answer to the question is yes. We do expect that, according to those at the Treasury, they have said they should be ready to go by Friday. They should have everything in place, everyone in place, in all the treasuries and everything that has been requested. All the other government departments will have been addressed, so to speak. They will be going into banks later on this afternoon. They have actually gone in and, let's just say, either removed or took out boards in media companies completely.
Wow.
In preparation for what is to come. Next, there'll be some serious staff meetings going on in the larger news outlets. I would say a lot of the news outlets come from America, the ones that are global, but there are a few that don't. But they will be going to them all, sitting everybody down and letting the agency people, known as journalists, know how things are going to go, and either they're going to comply and have a job or not. They will announce what they're supposed to announce, just like good actors do, and the other folks over in Congress will also be complying with what they are supposed to say and announce. So this should probably start happening by next week. I don't expect public disclosure until things are sort of wrapping up. I do expect to hear a few death announcements by the end of the month. That is what I have been told. I've been told how much time they would have, but I don't like to give times, because then if something happens and there's a hiccup, then I'm wrong and everybody will yell at me. So I don't want that. So I would say to you, my guess would be is before the end of the month. I can tell you, if you are watching this from the White House, there is a cold chance in whatever, we put another dead person in the seat. So it will be a living human. It will not be me, although I will be the president of basically every country during this transition. So
if we do see them on media, besides the people that might just be standing in the background, would they be saying they're from the GIA? Would they be on camera at all?
There will be public announcements for that too.
Okay.
There'll be a lot of public announcements about GIA and CARE. So this isn't going to be a lengthy process. They're hoping that they will be ready to go somewhere or do something by the 17th of November. We're running out of time. And there's no more someone else is going to step up, because you cannot lie to these people. Not people, but you can't lie to these folks. You cannot. They can read your mind. They can read your intent. They can tell if you're telling the truth or not. So there's no lying to these people.
So for the 120,000 that are here, how long do you think they'll be here? I know they've got some work to do, but you said that they're moving fast. Any ideas?
Yeah, they will be here until the transition is complete. Here's the other bit of news too, is that these will be your new participators in industry for CARE as well. They will be helping getting CARE off and running. Yes, in some cases, there are a lot of members of the coalition and others that will be heading companies now, large companies that you would consider cabal companies that give us poison.
Yeah.
They are moving in to those positions as CEO and boards of those companies as well. This is a complete hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Of every cabal asset you can think of. If you go on the internet, it tells you about Disney, it tells you about all these different corporations around the world. 5 companies run all of media companies in the world. So you can imagine where we've been already this morning and where we're going after that, you know, on down the line. I'm not expecting this to take as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought, you know, wow, I'm a good strategist, you know, Monday, you know, I'm a good strategist and I'm going to go kick some ground command butt and I'm going to get this done. And here's the plan. And we're going to go here. And how many do we have? And, you know, and I'm putting people in positions and we're going to make this work one way or the other. And we would have gotten it done. I mean, it would have happened. But holy crap, these people came in guns a-blazing, taking no prisoners whatsoever, extreme prejudice applied everywhere, and they're coming soon to a theater near you. So they're going to be in your neck of the woods if you're not watching this from the US very soon. There are a lot of corporations, worldwide global corporations that are based here. So there'll be some that will still be here. They'll be putting other people in position. So you could kind of technically say that we've actually had an alien invasion. So maybe the deep state wasn't wrong. You know, by the time we're done here, we'll probably be up to 300,000, I'm sure. And I do expect it's going to hit mainstream media soon. You could literally say we got stormed by 120,000 angels last night. You could call today Judgment Day, if you will. The departure of many souls.
Does that mean like whole families are being wiped out? Like, is there no such thing as a Rothschild after this?
There will be after this is done, unless they plan to comply. Those that some of the younger ones did choose to comply. Now they are also under 24-hour a day, 7-day a week watch. One wrong step and they're out. If they say they're going to move forward on Friday, I don't anticipate it being any longer than next week. That's my guess. You either comply or you're out. Or you're really out, like way out, like not coming back out. There are, you'll see changes in mainstream media, is what I've been told, immediately, like very soon. I never knew that we would be receiving such a gift. I'm very grateful and thankful for it. I didn't know we get that. I didn't know it comes with a package at the end.
We do not have a world situation report today, but Kim was able to pass along some information. With the legion of ninth density angels that arrived on the planet on the 15th, they are continuing to remove non-repairable humans from the planet. So far, they have removed 800,000 people total since they arrived, and they have about 1,400 more people on their list. None of the 15 military groups are complying, so all of them should be gone from this planet once the cleanup is complete. They know this, and they are currently still trying to call operatives and make deals, but no one is picking up the phone. They are also continuing to submit agreements to the Hall of Records, including, get this, requesting their own legion of angels. They also want the timeline reversed and to re-enter the Dark Age, all of which were rejected. Now let's talk about the United States government. The Vice Chairman of Joint Chief of Staff, his name is Christopher Grady, is flying around on orders from the archivist, informing everyone of the changes and what's to come. Also, the U.S. Congress passed a short-term spending bill as requested on late Wednesday night. That bill is now being reviewed by the Treasury, which is unique, before it's sent to the Hall of Records for approval. There are 2 conditions that must be met before Congress receives any funding. First, the head of the Joint Chief of Staff, his name is Charles Brown Jr., must be replaced if the military is to receive any funding. Second, an announcement must be made by the Trump family that Donald Trump has passed, and that announcement is expected to be made within the next few days. Perspective, because we don't know everything that's going on, it feels like it just stalled. And I know that there are some people that are frustrated with that because they're like, 120,000 angels just showed up. Why is it more why is it more happening? So can you just fill us in just a little bit about, is there, operations going on the back end that we don't know about? I know people are frustrated that Trump hasn't been announced as being dead and things like that. But what can you share with us? Because it was like, they're here. And I was like, oh, yay. Now what?
Well, there are things that you see in this world, and you feel that those are the bad people and those are the right things, and there's a whole world of things that happen here on Earth that we're all only beginning to learn about, gateways and portals and solstices and full moons and Lushing to Aldebaran and a lot of other things. And we're not the only planet in trouble. So you've got to realize that there's a bigger picture that's meant for your health and welfare that you may not understand sometimes. And sometimes you do. And sometimes we try to tell you. As it relates to announcements about like Trump and stuff like that, really that's only relevant if we're going to help the government. If we are going to try to get the government to turn around and fly straight and work on behalf of the people as long as we need them. If that's not possible, then I don't care if they ever announce that he's dead, because it doesn't matter if they put another dead guy for another dead guy in there, because they have no effect on my life anymore. They have no effect on your life anymore. And that's what we have to be concerned about. And that's the kind of thing that the legions are preparing for, because it's quite obvious that we do have good people, at the Treasury that want to go forward. We have other operatives that think these other people are as wacky as I do. You have other people that are ready to go. You do have some people in military, some people. So there is a definitive plan here to build an entire new structure for the forward goers and the non-forward goers. So, there's a plan B, if you will.
Yeah.
If you can't get everybody swinging the same bat, then, maybe, just maybe, there's an alternative structure and plans. The legions have also been making sure that our ecosystem is going to be able to turn around. We have a lot of problems in that area as well, which are affecting your health. So there's a lot of things going on here to help with the restoration of this planet and others. We are the gateway planet, so it kind of all started here. So I would say to you that they're doing a good job at what they're doing, and I haven't been talking much about it because I do know where they are, where they have been, and what they are doing, and it's not. If you put somebody into a position where they are going to be potentially, let's just say, not upright anymore. Now, nobody, in your case, everybody talks about arrests and of the bad people in the deep state. And so nobody calls you ahead of time, of course, unless you're CNN, right? Because you have to be there when there's a high-profile arrest. So they let you know a week or two ahead of time. Everybody sets an appointment, and then they show up and drag you off to jail. That's how it works in the movie section. But in real life, nobody calls you and says, hey, I know that you committed this murder, and probably these other 10,000 too. I wanted to know what time's good for you. Should we show up between 2 and 3 a.m.? Mr. Stone, you remember that ridiculous arrest? Or when is good for you? Like, nobody does that in the real world. And by announcing it on the news, I'm also telling them. So just be a little bit patient, let them do their thing. They are here, with your best interest at heart. They haven't gone away. The silent circle hasn't gone away either. They are still here. They are not giving any money at all to the deep state or operatives or anyone else that asks for it. They are doing, I would say, most everything they can at this point to change things. You know, all I'm going to say is the information is out there. It is public information. You just have to know how to connect the dots and how to go down the rabbit hole and be your own investigative journalist. I'm giving you the pieces and I'm telling you where to look to the best of my ability. But, you know, you got to do the work too.
Apologies for having to let you listen to all that again. But yet to hear it from her, the way that she was saying it, she's very good at convincing people. And of course, a lot of people were believing. I know they was taken in by what she said back then. Can you imagine the amount of excitement? I mean, me and Team Bubba, we would love that to happen. Of course we would. Who wouldn't? But we know her track record. She's got, same with Thomas Williams and all these other scumbags that come out with stuff. They build up hope. But she launched this on the 15th of November, where she said 120,000 angels had come down to help her. She announced it on her show. So by now, they all should be gone now, shouldn't they? All of the dark forces, all the evil. She's had plenty of time. They've had plenty of time to clean up the earth. In fact, she never mentions them once, legions now. Wars are still ongoing. People are still suffering everywhere. Poverty, homelessness, children and women being abused every day. It's sickening. It's sick for someone like her to promise people that everything's going to change. People are desperate around the world for things to change. She was giving them hope, false hope. And she still does today with a load of bullshit. And that's what keeps us going at Team Bubba. It's because we hear the stories of what that's happening to people that have been taken in by her lies. Yeah. Right. So let's turn on to this channel. So as you can see, this is not Team Bubba's at all. This is the real history of Kimberly Goguen. And a lot of this, what I'm showing you now, was provided by Lisa Thomas and Vera. And I apologise for the others for not mentioning their name. Although we've probably given Lisa and some of them a bit of a hard time in the past, you know, while she was still in with Tank and all the others, you know, it just shows that people do, when they do get to the bottom and the penny drops, you know, they are good people deep down, but there's a lot of people out there that do not want to, even though they know they've been fooled and scammed out of money or whatever, they just want to keep quiet, and it's up to them. But the best way to get them back is by doing something like this. I don't know what Lisa and Vera and them lot are doing anymore. All I know is this Telegram group still going, which is good. It's got an archive of information and some information that I've not even come across now. But anyway, I'm going to go through some little bits now. Like you said, Kim's just said what she said, right? You've heard it. She said on those timelines. So this is information that Lisa and Vera has put forward about the girls' calls that they used to have with some seers, channelers, and Kim. Now, as you can see in this first one here on the screen, it's a girl's call from the let's go to what we'll do. Let's find the one where she hasn't actually got anything to talk about. Let me find it. Apologize for this. Should have been well prepared for it. Here you go. So this is a clip where, let's read it. So in here, this is a girl's call from the 10th of the 11th, 2023. We begin with the starting of clip, the girl's call. You will hear Kim go on about not doing the news because she had nothing from source. Notice the desperation of Kim's voice as she presses Nancy for answers from her guides, even mentions having asked Mike if he could come up with some answers. The questions to ask is why, if Kim actually has access to the Kim system or level 74, 75 clearance and was connected to source, why would she be desperate for answers from other people? So their so-called guides. She could not do the news on the 10th 11 because she did not get any answers from Nancy's guides, which she depends on for 99% of her intel and news. That desperation only grew as people were waiting for big news to come out on the 15th of the 11th. Okay, so let's play this now, and then we'll come back.
Is my thing.
Yep,
you
I
okay?
have been. I didn't even do the news.
Oh my God.
Nope, because I don't know what's going on, and I don't know if I should say anything about the archivist or anybody, or what I should talk about and what I shouldn't. And I whatever it is, it's not. It is something big. I asked Mike. Mike went and took a shower so that he could try to, like, you know how sometimes you get the, like, things become clear when everything is chaos. Yeah. So he was gonna go check. I don't know. Do you get anything more from source, or? Oh, the curse was the Reich. That's the only thing I know about that. I don't know what the Reich, that only means rich in German. Maybe it has a different meaning, and it's a dark agreement. So I don't know how that was at a time when the whole world was supposed to salute the black sun. Is that what it is? I don't know. I just couldn't.
And it's Friday.
Mean, I hate to put pressure on the guides, but I don't have anything from source as far as, like, you know, I'm taking care of it or whatever. It's something I must have to take care of, because otherwise I wouldn't be feeling so bad. Because what I mean, it started as danger, 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 right? Alert, alert, alert. And then you don't answer. And then everybody starts to feel it. What the fuck? I mean, but it's not all of a sudden. It's been building since this morning. I actually started feeling it at 3 o'clock this morning. 3:30. And the only message I got that time was the nil zone. Welcome to the nil zone. I'm like, I don't want to be in the nil zone. I haven't been there enough.
Damn.
So I'm not sure what that meant, but whatever the guys are not telling us, is there anything they can give us? Because look at that net, the tray's bad, everything's bad. Yeah, I'll ask. I mean, I don't know. You know, I was as frustrated as you were this morning because I wasn't getting anywhere with anything, no matter what I asked. So, but I'll ask. Let's ask, why are we all so anxious? And now all of a sudden, to add to that, we're all feeling like shit. Yeah. So Lisa was telling me that on the thread, someone posted Marina Jacoby's latest video, right? And in the video, she says that the consciousness, it's a consciousness swap that's going to happen on the 15th. This is what the video says.
You mentioned the 15th. See, I didn't listen to the whole thing. I listened to a few minutes.
I don't know. I didn't either.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't listen to that. I didn't know she said the 15th. I didn't get that far. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't either. Well, yeah, they said the consciousness was going to swap out of even politicians, and they were going to be different. Well, that's the word on the street. Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Oh, that's the 15th, right? No, Friday's the 15th.
Yeah, my comment. No, 15th is Wednesday. My comment to all that was, that's not possible.
Yeah, I don't see how that's possible.
Well, it breaks all the rules. You can't just switch out somebody's consciousness without their consent, and I don't see them consenting to anything. So,
yeah, I don't know how that all works. She actually, yeah. I think she did say though that it was consent. It was a consent, or it's not a takeover. It's an agreed upon something. I don't know.
No, I would say.
Oh, that's from the Marina Jacoby video?
Yeah, but I don't know if she said a date. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear her enough to. I did hear her say that though, that part. Though.
But in my opinion, on that matter, I think they're still banking on. They think it was going to be a agreed upon dark consciousness infestation.
I
don't know. Something's wrong with that lady lately.
So there you go. So this was taken from Maria Jacoby's website. As you can see for me, this is sorry, it went into the another clip. But this is Maria Jacoby, right? Again, Lisa passed this information on to Kim, so Kim could listen to it. So then Kim decided to hijack and take the idea up herself. So let's have a little listen to what Maria Jacoby is saying. And as you can see here, 28th of October, this lady's talking about this well before Kim. Let's have a little listen.
The collective, and this is what they call it etheric legion. So every soul without an exception, it doesn't matter they were negative or positive, they're going through some momentum so they can be part of the etheric legions. We're not talking about the souls that really cannot make it, that they've been so destructive to their own self, they gotta go back to source. We're talking for the ones that is still in between and in confusion, and they simply can't bring the frequency to be able to switch the realities. And this is part of the etheric legions. But we also discuss how consciousness is going to help itself.
So, does that sound familiar to you, what she's saying? Let's have a listen to the other one.
Also discuss how consciousness is going to help itself when it's going to start interacting and restructuring certain people, like walk-ins. For example, from this reality, there will be a switch of souls. And why was that necessary? Because consciousness had to implement into the three-dimensional reality to fifth-dimensional switch, needed to have a...
Sound familiar? Let's play this last one. Oh, this is just a screenshot, actually. It's the 28th, well before Kim mentioned it in any of her videos, and she's plastering it everywhere that's what basically she's that she believes it's going to happen. Remember she lied. She said she got calls about this thing happening it happened on the 15th, and what they were going to be doing. 120,000 legions. Absolute bullshit. Unbelievable. So now let's listen to a bit more of what Kim's got to say. Where is it? Right, so this is clip one. I'm going to play in it. This is on here. Clip one. Hear how frustrated Kim is that public figures are not disappearing as she promised the world. This is on the 25th of the 11th. Listen to this.
So basically, in a nutshell, what I'm gathering is, number one, they're planning on killing a bunch of people, and how are the legions not taking them out?
I don't know. I don't know if they. I mean, the legions see it as a thought form first, right? And they see it followed through. So why aren't they taking them out?
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, Kim's getting frustrated. Why
Kim's getting
frustrated.
Legions do anything?
Well,
Why aren't these
legions
do
not
anything?
really
Well, probably
there,
because
Kim.
they're not really
You're full
there.
of shit. You're just
Kim.
listening to
You're full of
someone
shit.
else's
You're just listening to
information,
someone
basically.
else's information.
Play part
basically.
two. Right,
Play
so what are they
part
saying
two.
here?
Right, so what are they saying
Right,
here?
here the girls. Right,
Here the girls
call.
Here the
While
girls
Kim is off
call,
talking to
while
Tom
Kim is
Melville.
off
The
talking
girls
to
discuss
Tom
their
Melville. The
confusion
girls
as to why
discuss their
Kim has no
confusion as to why
communication
Kim
with
has
the
no
legions. I think this
communication
is it's
with the
definitely
legions.
Lisa
I think
talking
this
in this
is
one.
it's definitely
Have a
Lisa
listen.
talking in this one. Have a listen.
I don't understand is the legions are here, but they're not communicating with Kim, but they're supposed to be helping the mission move forward. So it's interesting that they don't communicate with her.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, but I thought they did.
No, I mean, she's
But I
asking.
don't think
Yesterday, she was
don't
asking
say,
you what the legions were saying. So,
well, they don't give out. I mean, when I ask about it, like they'll talk about non-planned stuff. You know what I mean?
they won't
Like
talk about
if I
operational
just
things.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, and when I ask, it's complete silence. You know, it just goes dead silent. So
Won't talk to. Yeah, it's just weird they're not communicating with Kim.
yeah, I guess they have their own way of doing things.
Even the archivist won't talk to her. So it's just weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to call, they're going to talk to her, they're going to do this, and then they don't. So I don't know. Are they just talking to Tom, or it's just a little, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I wonder sometimes, like, it should be like a team effort. Sometimes I feel like it seems like they're all above her, so they do whatever they want, and then they'll kind of update her. But shouldn't it be like a round table, like they're all talking and okay, I can handle this part, like she does with the enforcer, right? Like, okay, he's doing this, we're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody all on the same page. And yeah, like what was phase two? They were going to start phase two, but boy, was it? Is it over? Are we starting on phase three now? Because obviously we got some shit going down. I don't know.
They're leaving her out of the know, you know. She's asking the guides what's going on, and it feels like they should be communicating directly with her.
I don't know. I was wondering the same thing. Is it just they just have a separate operation going on, or get somebody off, or
put out that video like it was 2 weeks ago now, I think. The one everyone was talking about, because she's the one who mentioned the legions a few days before she actually used the word etherical legions or whatever. That show was interesting, because I've never watched any of her shows. It's hard for me to get past the accent, but I watched that one, and she said it was a hollow political, which she kind of made up the word, like holographic political moves. And she said, and she used, I think I said this before, the state secretary, or not, the speaker of the House as an example. She said, over the next year or two, you're going to see people exchanged out. She said, for example, the speaker of the House, let's say we think he's a bad guy, and then all of a sudden in a year or two, he'll do something amazing for humanity. And those are the ones that are being switched out. But she made it sound like it's going to take a year or two to phase those people in. So I just found it, where Kim's message was out, they all arrived the night of the 15th. and, we'd be in charge of the White House and this, but it just doesn't seem like they're on the same, like they're all like you said, they're not working together because everybody seems to have their own idea of what that information is. If that makes sense. Sorry, my throat's still off, so it's hard for me to like losing my voice a
Well,
little.
I also think that, we've always had issues with time because they don't use time. So even with the guides being here for 2 years, they're still off on, they can't say yet. I mean, they're getting better about like when are meetings, but is it going to be
never
done?
Been good at that. Estimating time.
Because they don't use it. Once you get out of here, nobody uses time. So to come in and
they don't understand
get
time.
used to it when you're not even living in it, or living with it, or have the kind of constraints that time uses against us.
But just communication wise, like you said, they should all be on the same. If they're all working together, they should be all communicating, and doesn't take effort. If
they should all at least know the plan,
be on the same
they should all at least know the plan, right? And then, maybe they have different parts in the plan, but it seems like they should all know the same plan. But I don't know. I mean, I
communicating
just know,
to Kim.
like
Nobody communicates with Kim. Like the not the Arcturians, but even the Arcturians. I think she said a few months ago they were going to come to help the people, but
But even look at Source. When he like gave the key, or and then well, I'm not going to tell you what it does. I'm just going to tell you that once you use it, you can't go back. And it's like, oh, okay.
Well, a week before that, it was, well, no, I'm not going to help you. You got to do this yourself. It's like, okay, so it's just, I don't know. I feel like if that's what that should be open communication between her and Source, so that she knows the game, everybody's in on the same game, and they're all working towards the same goal. It seems like there's a lot of missing parts. They don't communicate. I don't think the archivists have ever still reached out to her, and they keep saying they're going to, and so it's just odd that they're not communicating with her.
Well, and and they're saying we should be able to fund by the end of the month. So does that mean that, like, the legions are in, like Robin said, are we in phase 2? And that'll be done by the end of the month? Do we know what phase 2 is? I get it.
That's also coming from, I guess, Tom, because he's the middle guy. So who knows?
Right. Yeah, who knows?
Kim didn't get it firsthand.
And sometimes I feel like I don't know, we keep working and working and working, and if they have another plan that doesn't, I mean, I guess we're just cleaning up. We're just the cleanup crew at this point, but which is fine, that's good, but
yeah, they all need to communicate. Because the way Marina described it is, when she put out her show, it was 2 weeks ago. It was a few days before Kim talked about the legions, and she said that it had already happened. She said it already happened. They're all here already, and you're gonna see over the next year things play out. And then when Kim said they all came in on the night of the 15th or the morning of, or whatever, so it's a little confusing.
2 weeks before Kim, and Kim puts it out, it's all going to happen tomorrow, because she was worried. She had no news. This is what people do. It's exactly what they do in the mainstream media. They've got no news, so they make some shit up, latch on to someone else's news. Let's play this last part. So they say, Robert, here Robin questioned Kim directly, asking why she isn't hearing from the legions or archivists at all.
Yeah, and I think that's true. It's just the longer that the legions take to actually, these guys are never going to say he's dead. I mean, they're making so much money the longer it takes to finish the project there, it just makes people question, like that guy says,
What do you
I'm
got?
skeptical, until they see the result.
I did. Well, I'm sure or hopeful that the legions have a plan for that. So that's my hope.
I was wondering about that too, like how like the communication between them and you and like the archivist and you, it seems like, I mean, it's there, but do you think that there's still something to that patriarchy curse where people can't talk to you till a certain time or milestone or till something is removed? Because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of communication on what they're doing unless I don't know, maybe there's a reason for that, but like they don't want to let their scoop out.
So that's it in a nutshell, basically, the girl's call. And it was Kim, if you go back to Kim's Kim's video where she says that, I think it was on the 25th or 27th, can't remember what it was, but she basically said that when so I'm getting confused. When Sunny asked her about what's the latest on the legions, because it's all gone quiet, she came out and said, "Oh, they've got other things to do. Then just got here. There's other problems in the universe. They're also looking after the ecosystem." So she lied again, and basically, she had no news because there wasn't any. She didn't get any. She couldn't get any more news from Mariana Jacobi because she wasn't posting anymore any updates, because Mariana Jacobi was saying it could take 2 years for this to happen. But Kim was talking months because she was hoping something would happen. And she said, look, there you go. I told you this is what would happen. You can see it. Of course, she always puts a caveat on there and says, "Oh, I don't want to give you time," but she does, because she'll say in the next month or two. She just lies too much. Again, I just don't understand, why is it that people are believing what she's saying? Well, that's it. I've got much more to say. I mean, what more proof do you need that Kim's a liar? She spins information off other people. She bullshits. Even her own people that sit in these calls with her are doubting her, but also afraid of her. Kim has no connection to source. Absolutely no. And of course, don't get me wrong, Team Bubba do believe that there's something going on, but it's not like what Kim's saying or anyone else. Half these people that are putting stuff on YouTube know nothing about what's really going on. They're just making it up as they go along. But it's your choice. So you want to follow these crazy people, it's up to you. But there's basically, you've just far too gone. You really have, if you still believe these people. Thomas Williams, look who they've been associated with. Goodness me, we've done hundreds of videos and all this. A lot of you just can't be bothered to watch it. I'm not telling you to watch all of them, but we've got some playlists that's kind of like must see videos. You should watch them and see what scammers they are. They've tried everything. We just keep pushing them back into their little room, isolated behind their paywalls. Even Thomas is doing paywall now. not with his information, but you want to get into the real chats and stuff, you need to pay subscription to be able to get into the chats because they want money. Simple as that. Right, that's it, folks. I'm not sure when another video will be coming out. It might not be for a long time, but I hope you've enjoyed this one. We might put out some little clips here and there. If something big happens, then take care, look after yourselves, and hopefully these people doing these bad things will be put up. There'll be some sort of justice. Maybe they'll get arrested. Yeah, right. We'll see. Take care now. Bye-bye.